morning, everyone, dear students, lay mission partners, and to my dear brother Salesians. Happy Novena days towards the feast of our beloved Saint John Bosco. So you might be wondering who I am. I am Sister Mylene Sanchez, FMA, a daughter of Mary Help of Christians. So I come from Pampanga, FR, so I have the Kapampangan blood within me. So the nearest FMA school that you might know would be Mary Help of Christian School, Mabalacat, of which I was a past pupil. So I entered after high school, and now I am a 15-year-old FMA sister. So for those girls out there who might be hearing that tiny voice of God within you, baka naman. I hope Father Jojo, the Salesians and your educators would be able to help you discover God's will. So currently, I am assigned here in Malta. I am studying. So where is Malta, sister? Is it the place where they produce the Maltese chocolates? Definitely no. It's an island, a country in the Mediterranean Sea. So it's in between Italy and Africa. It's a tiny, tiny bit island. And it's also the birthplace of our present rector major, Father Fabio Attard. So today, I suppose it's the first day of your novena to St. John Bosco, and also it's the feast day of Blessed Laura Vicuna, a girl like most of you. So we know that Laura lived in a time which is very, very different from us. No ChatGPT, no TikTok, no phones. Yet she experienced pressure, confusion, the feeling of being left out alone, which most of us are also experiencing right now. But the question is, what made Laura Vicuna different? She lived true. The purity that she lived was true. T, which means she was true to herself. She was not shaped by any trends or the outside pressure. R, for respect. She respects her body, her heart, and her worth. U, uncompromised. She did not settle for less. That's why she was able to offer her life for the conversion of her mother. And lastly, E, empowered, strong enough to stand alone. And this is what purity looks like in the life of Laura Vicuna. True to herself, she respects her worth, she is uncompromised, and she is empowered. Now let's be honest. If we talk about purity nowadays, people would tell old school, impossible, judgmental. FR sister purity? We hear these words, right? But for Don Bosco and Laura Vicuna, they would say, purity is not about being fragile, it's about being strong. Don Bosco used to tell the boys, God wants you to be happy. God wants you to be happy. For him, purity is not about fear, but it's about the freedom to love God wholeheartedly. Fast forward to today, we know that we live in a world where algorithms decides everything. Our feeds decides what we see, likes decides what feels to be valuable, and AI predicts what you might want. But purity today is saying just because it's trending, it doesn't mean it's true. Just because everyone shares it, it doesn't mean that I should. Just because AI suggests it, it doesn't mean it defines me. FR, that purity, that takes a lot of courage. And it connects beautifully with your school motto, Ducere et Servire, to lead is to serve. Beautiful. Because today, leadership is not about being in front with a microphone. It's about what you influence online and offline. You choose purity when you choose respect. You choose purity when you choose truth, integrity, and for the common good. There, you are already leading. You serve your friends, your classmates, your family when you're not spreading harm, when you don't normalize what degrades, and by choosing what builds up. FR again, that is true and real leadership. Because purity is not only saying no, it's about saying that big yes. Yes to life, yes to your worth, and yes to your purpose. And that is Salesian holiness. Simple, joyful, but definitely real. So let's ask Don Bosco and Blessed Laura Vicuna to help us live with pure hearts, sharp minds, and brave choices in this age of AI, in the digital world that we every day navigate. Maybe one invitation that I will leave you today is that before you scroll today, pause and ask, is this building me up or bringing me down? So wishing you a fruitful Novena days towards the feast of our Father, Teacher, and Friend, Don Bosco. Dakay pong salamat and God bless you all. Ciao, ciao!